The heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Whatever happened to predictability? The Big Bear and Money Mike on Valley TV. You see your old familiar friends coming back and on the mend. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a drive.
There's a drive.
A lead to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a K.
There's a K.
Of someone who can't hit you. When you've headed out west and you're on the road, a wash is waving and sending you home everywhere you look. TGIF in San Francisco as baseball's top team begins a 10-game road trip tonight in front of a full house at Oracle Park. The best show in the Friday lineup begins next on Valley Sports. A gorgeous evening in the Bay as the Braves head west. Braves baseball on Valley Sports is presented by Truist. Atlanta and San Francisco just met last weekend in Atlanta. The Braves taking 2 of 3. And now it's out at Oracle Park where the Braves and Giants meet. And we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Brandon Gaudin, Peter Moylan, happy to be with you. Day off yesterday for the travel out west here, Peter. And this starts a long trip here, then Denver, and then 4 big games in Los Angeles with the Dodgers.
Well, West Coast swings are always tough, and it's even tougher when you come to San Fran and Colorado. We've got to take care of business tonight. San Fran's on a roll, looking for a playoff spot, obviously. The Colorado Rockies are struggling, but we need to take care of business there. It's always been a tough place for me to play, but these Braves seem to have no problem. 10-1 in their last 11, and then you look at the end of this road trip, and 19-3 LA are waiting for us, but we're fighting for that #1 seed in the NL.
Tonight, though, should be a fantastic pitching matchup. Spencer Strider going for the Braves. He's been sensational his last couple of starts. Logan Webb for San Francisco, who's also been really good this year, Peter.
2 guys with the same pitch mix, but they go about it different ways. You got Spencer Strider with that big 4-seam fastball. Webb comes at you with more of a sinker action, but they do both have slider changeups. Check those numbers out right there. You're going to see a massive pitcher matchup tonight.
And when we come back, we're not going to talk pitching, we're going to talk hitting. Marcell Ozuna has been so good offensively here over the last couple of weeks, and Kelly Kroll is going to get you caught up on everything that's going right for the Big Bear and his big power. It's coming up next on Valley Sports. Ball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By the Xfinity 10G network, the future starts now. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
We welcome you back to Oracle Park here in San Francisco, where the Braves will open up a 10-game road trip, starting with 3 tonight against the Giants, who, of course, they just saw a week ago in Atlanta. And the headliner of that homestand was indeed Marcell Ozuna, who hit over 500 during that 10-game stint, just continuing this torrid pace he's been on. And we're going to show you some numbers in our Racetrack Fueling Up feature tonight that shows you what the Braves DH has done in the month of August. His average in the National League, good for 3rd best, OPS the same. His 14 extra base hits, tied for 2nd. And you see the RBI there as well, and certainly has turned it around from what he was doing at the start of this season, something that Michael Harris and the coaching staff has all been impressed with.
Then it was just, I guess it was just easier for me to watch him do that than when I came back. I was going through the same thing, and then to have him kind of coach me through that helped a lot, because obviously he's been through it. He knows the ups and downs, and he just knows, I guess he knew what to say to get me going. And I mean, still to this day, I guess game to game, we still tell each other things to, I guess, get each other in the mindset. And right now he's hot, so I mean, I can't tell him anything, just hoping he tells me something. So, yeah, he's great.
His approach, staying in the middle of the field, right center gap. He's not trying to pull the ball, not trying to do too much, focus on getting base hits, putting the barrel of the bat on the ball, and you know, when you're staying more right center, see the off speed better, see it longer, you can stay on it better, and he's been on fire. He's been doing great.
Yeah, we'll see if Marcell Ozuna can bring the heat, because it is certainly cooler here in the Bay Area, but looking for a 4th straight game with a homer. It is game 1 of 3 between the Braves and Giants on our Friday night showdown presented by Kaiser Permanente. All the action coming your way on Bally Sports.
Brought you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. Friday, August 25th in San Francisco, 63 degrees. Light winds, very pleasant, but it is long sleeve and pant weather here tonight, especially for those of us from the southeastern part of the United States. Let's get you the lineup presented by your local Toyota dealer for the Braves, and it will start off with Ronald Acuna Jr. Harris back batting second out in center field. D'Arnaud will catch tonight. Nicky Lopez at second base. You know the rest of the usual suspects for Brian Snitker and company. And on the mound, we talked about this being a great matchup. Spencer Strider going for the Braves and Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants.
The numbers there. 8 earned runs in 33 innings pitched against the Bravos, and has not allowed more than 3 earned runs here at home. So that'll be a good test for him against this lineup.
He just pitched in that 3-game series at Truist Park. He threw last Saturday, 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs given up against Atlanta. Peter, what do you have for tonight's Ford Keys?
Well, I took this one from you, but the first one's going to be tangle the wed. We've got to figure him out. See the ball up, take advantage of anything that he does leave up, and do not swing at anything down. And sizzling Strider. He was so good against these guys last time out. Just continue that. I want to see what kind of plan and what adjustments they've made, but hopefully not many.
Hopefully the Braves can do what they did to the Giants in 2 of those 3 games. Braves won the first 2 games of the series, and the Giants snuck out, salvaging the series on Sunday in game 3. And now these 2 teams meet again just 5 days later out here on the West Coast. And right on time at 7:15 Pacific, 10:15 Eastern, back in Atlanta. We are underway with a foul ball by Ronald Acuna. The start of a long West Coast swing. Here, then to Denver for 3, then 4 with the Dodgers in LA. Logan Webb, the 26-year-old righty, deals to Acuna, and he lifts this out to Matos and right for the first out of the ball game. Down there on the field, though, before, Peter, you certainly saw a lot of guys wearing longer sleeves, a couple of sweatshirts and jackets. It is a different temperature than we left in Atlanta.
Yeah, we were dealing with some heat like we haven't seen in a long time in Atlanta. My sweat levels were through the roof, but it's been perfect since I've arrived here.
Michael Harris. Peter even had to stop by the local spot, get a sweatshirt earlier today.
Once again, surprised myself that the weather's cold in San Francisco.
I think you intended to pack one, you just forgot.
You know my story. I'm not going to run through it again.
Yes. This happened on the last trip out west. Brian Snitker wearing his coat tonight. And Michael Harris in the air to deep right field. That baby is gone. It's a splash, or did it get there? No, it's just on the concourse. Either way, a solo homer from Michael Harris, and the Braves lead 2 batters in.
Webb loves to keep the ball on the ground. Left to pitch up. Michael Harris, we saw him in BP really working on trying to drive the ball up the middle, and then he got one up and in. Missed location by a long way.
And just like that, the Braves have a 1-0 lead here in San Francisco. Guys before the game in batting practice, in particular those hitting from the left side, trying to see who could hit the ball out into the bay. It has not been done very often. This ballpark's been around 23 years. Only about 200 balls have been hit out into the water. So that averages to right around less than 10 a season.
You saw why. Michael absolutely demolished that ball and it didn't get out.
Swing and a miss there, 2-2 to Austin. Yeah, the depth behind the fence on that concourse area before you get to the water, that's what's so deceiving. Well, Michael launching his 12th of the year, and now the 2-2 to Austin is a little high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Breeze blowing that way. He'll take that on top of the dugout. You were hinting at it, but Logan Webb does not give up a ton of homers. Back before that start in Atlanta where he gave up 1 homer, he had not surrendered one in his last 3 starts. Line shot, but caught by Wade. Second out as we get another peek at Michael Harris's solo bomb.
You see, he tried to go away, left that pitch up and in. Michael pulled the hands in. I thought it might have got the splash by the sound off the bat. Money, money.
Money Mike. Now Matt Olson. That one clips the outside corner. Todd Tishner is the home plate umpire tonight. But Logan Webb facing that guy tonight, Spencer Strider. Figures to be a great matchup, but Webb here at home has just been sensational this year. A 2.11 ERA. Has not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of his 12 home starts. So for Michael to get that solo homer early, that's a big plus for the Braves. Two and 2 to the Braves cleanup hitter.
Some more perspective on that number. He's just joined a list of only 5.
Hold that thought.
I will.
Weak swing grounder to first. Wade takes care of business, but Michael Harris takes care of Logan Webb. A solo bomb to right. It's 1-0 Atlanta. One hit in the top of the first, but it was enough to give the Braves a lead. And now San Francisco trots this lineup out, presented by your local Toyota dealer. Lamont Wade will lead things off. It's a lineup that has been struggling, especially since August 8th, to put runs on the board. So probably not the guy you want to see with a struggling offense. Spencer Strider going for his 15th win of the season, Peter.
2nd consecutive start versus these Giants. He had a field day last time. 7 innings, lots of punch outs.
If you add up his last 2 starts, the one with the Giants and the Mets, the one before that, 14 innings, 4 hits, no runs. But he had 10 strikeouts last time against the San Francisco Giants. He was simply dominant. A weak swinger right back where it came from. 1 away. We say it all the time with these starting pitchers, just like hitters. they're going to go through lulls in the season where they're not as dominant. Spencer had one of those stretches. Looks like he's back to being his old self, his top form self. Have you noticed anything the last couple of starts that's been different, Peter?
For me, it's been the consistency of the misses. The misses haven't been as big. He's been able to basically hit his spot, and if he misses, he's missing in a good spot. He hasn't been able to get hurt, and it just seemed like something mechanical. Just like that. That's it. It's a fastball, bottom of the zone. Could get called, could not get called. But at least it gives an opportunity for the hitter to make a decision, and then the umpire needs to make a decision. When you're too far out, it's just too easy for the hitter and the umpire.
Thairo Estrada is the hitter, and he skies this to shallow right. And that's no problem for Ronald Acuna.
The off-speed pitches have also gone to another level. Doesn't just rely on the one. He's got both working really well right now. Something that him and Travis can go to at any stage, any pitch at any point.
Facing Wilmer Flores. Plane touchdown yesterday around 2 o'clock Pacific. We got to the hotel around 3. I went right down to the gym, and who's in there already working out? Spencer Strider. I was over there curling 25s, losing my breath, and he was doing things that no man should be doing in the gym, but it was impressive. Let's say that. But this guy is as dedicated to his craft as anybody you'll come across.
Only reason you didn't beat him down there was because our bus comes a little later than theirs, right?
Plus, he's just faster than I am and more athletic. I would have tried, though. The designated hitter Flores swings it at 2-1, and he is way ahead of it. 2-2. And Spencer wasn't down there lifting heavy weights or doing. He just has a routine the day before he starts, what he does, how he stretches, how he gets himself ready. Very meticulous in the best of ways. Just missed outside there, 3-2. Payoff pitch. That's beautiful. Wilmer Flores. That's 64 degrees. Good temperature for some frozen pizza.
San Francisco 5-6-7 on the way, and many of you know Marcell Ozuna, who is leading off, and Eddie Rosario following him, have done a lot of good work as of late during that homestand specifically. And Snit went on to talk about them, saying, you know, we've had runs where everyone's hitting on all cylinders. We've had runs where nobody has been. But those two guys during this stretch at home to keep the line moving has been really good to see. And, you know, Peter Brandon, he also went on to say there's a few of those other guys who he thinks could be heating up right as they need him to. And I think you know who he's talking about.
Yeah, maybe the guys in front of Marcell Ozuna as well. But that's the thing that we talk about so much. It is always a couple of guys who are going. Sometimes everybody's going good, but there's always a couple of guys like right now with Marcell and Eddie, Peter, that are going really, really good.
Yeah, it's a dream scenario when you've got guys at the top of the lineup that aren't functioning. And then you can go to the middle and get some support, and then even go all the way to the end and get some support. It's what makes this lineup unlike anything else out there in baseball.
Marcell, the last 20 games, hitting .397, 6 homers and 18 runs driven in. And he's got a 3-1 count here as Logan Webb deals. And that's the other thing he's done very well. That's now 10 walks in his last 21 games. Well, Eddie's been hot as well. He's our Xfinity game changer here tonight. Look at the last 7, which extends back to that San Francisco game-winning homer.
Just quality of at-bats. Look at those numbers. OPS at 1100, average almost at 550. But as I said, it's the takes, it's the quality at bats. He's not swinging at first pitches and getting out. He's really making pitches work and putting together great at bats.
Reigning National League Player of the Week. And Eddie's last 2 4-hit games came against the San Francisco Giants. Last week in Atlanta when he had the 4 hits and a game-winning homer, and then the cycle here on September 19th of 2021.
5 pitches?
5 pitches that he got that cycle on.
Brilliant.
Hard to believe. Swings and misses there at the Logan Webb offering. And the 1-2 to Eddie. Grounded to first. They'll get Ozuna. And they'll get Eddie as well. So a double play, and there are 2 outs.
Some of that ground ball work that Webb's famous for. It's not just the sinker that he relies on to get ground balls too. He can go to that changeup, even his slider.
Well, you said it earlier, but his ground ball rate is over 61%, and that is the best in Major League Baseball. That's how many ground balls this guy induces. Travis d'Arnaud takes one down the middle, a ball and a strike.
He does get a ton of punch outs for a sinker ball guy, and a guy that does get so many ground balls. That's what makes him so tough. I was looking at the numbers today, and I remember him having great years, but I guess because the Giants aren't winning at a clip that they have been the last few years, and you don't pay as much attention, but he's out there with the Cy Young votes just as much as Spencer is.
Right around a strikeout per inning. Trying to get d'Arnaud here, but d'Arnaud doesn't chase. 2-2. Skies this to left center. Got underneath it, and Jock Peterson is there for the 3rd out. On to the bottom of the 2nd. Making the grade feature. We've talked about it at length, but Strider and Webb going head-to-head, great pitching matchup, and look at the use of the slider, Peter.
Yeah, a couple of guys making the grade with that pitch. The average against are incredible. The whiff percentage obviously a bit higher with Spencer, and the usage is up too. He did go to it to lock up Flores with a 3-2 banger as well.
That ended the bottom of the 1st, and that means that former Brave Jock Peterson will lead off the home half of the 2nd.
Not sure if the pearls are under the jersey, but it was rocking them in Atlanta.
And he was outspoken in Atlanta just about. He was not saying anything negative about the fan base in San Francisco. I want to be clear about that. But just about when he went back there, he was reminded that even in the regular season, it is like a playoff atmosphere at Truist Park. Pretty good swing on this to left center. But Eddie Rosario, with his feet on the dirt, has it for the 1st out. So 4 up and 4 down for number 99, Spencer Strider. Since leaving Atlanta, the Giants lost 2 of 3 in Philadelphia. They were able to salvage the series on Wednesday with an 8-6 victory, and then, like the Braves, had an off day yesterday while traveling out west. There's Gabe Kapler eating an apple. Gabe was suspended for the first game of the series in Atlanta, but managed games 2 and 3.
Wonder if he grew that apple himself.
Like Johnny Appleseed. 0-2. Swing and a miss. A slider from Strider takes care of Blake Sabol, and there's 2 away.
Beautiful pitch. We just talked about that slider, and this is what it does. You expect it to come in, but it's more of a bullet slider, breaks straight down. It's got it working beautifully at the moment.
For Strider, that is now 229 strikeouts on the season. That is 34 more than anybody else in Major League Baseball. And now he deals to J.D. Davis. And he's a strike away from fanning him.
You're right, Brandon. It looks like he's taken things to another level at the moment. His confidence seems like it's up. He's not shaking his head after any pitches. I guess he hasn't made any bad misses, but when he was going through that little period, he would get frustrated with himself more than anything.
Late on that, Davis fouls it away. And Spencer continues to be on a trajectory to break the Braves' modern era record for single season strikeouts. 276 by John Smoltz. No strikeout here, but Nicky Lopez with an easy one hopper, and it's another 1-2-3 for Strider. Have a look at our George Drive Chevy on the road feature. The Atlanta Braves road games this month, averaging 7.6 runs per outing.
It's going to get it done. I can remember a time not too long ago where the road used to give us some trouble, but this team seems to function, doesn't matter where they are.
All told on the year, the Braves are 38-22 away from Truist Park, and that is the best road record in Major League Baseball.
Remember, we started off on fire and we had a bit of trouble at Truist, but now we've turned everything around and we're a tough opponent anywhere.
Braves still with the best record in baseball at 82-44. The Giants come in here 5 games above 500 at 66-61 and fighting for their playoff lives. Right now they're a half game back in the wild card race in the National League. So every game for them becomes more and more important as that calendar gets closer to September. Two to Orlando Arcia. To the right side. Webb covers, 1 away.
Another reason why home field advantage becomes so important, because a lot of the time that wild card team that you're having to face is the one that's got the hottest in order to claim that spot.
That's true in every sport, but it's about getting hot at the right time. Look what the Phillies did last year. Last, of course, 2021, when the Braves won it all, there was the rough start to the season that began to turn it on mid-June, and everybody knows what happened from there. Nicky Lopez with a grounder to Estrada. Logan Webb doing what he does, inducing a lot of ground ball outs. Well, outside of that homer by Harris, Michael Webb Logan Webb, excuse me, has been locked in here so far. Another grounder. Sharply to DeYoung, who they just got from Toronto. He throws across, 1-2-3. game one of the road trip. And Spencer Strider will face the bottom three in the order, starting with Paul DeJong. DeJong made the defensive play to end the top of the inning, and what a journey he has been on. He started the year with St. Louis, who he had been with his entire career. But they traded him to the Blue Jays August 1st. He only played 13 games in Toronto and really struggled. So they released him. And then the Giants picked him up, and this is his second game with San Francisco. But in his first game as a Giant, he went 3 for 5 with a homer and 4 runs driven in. But Strider makes quick work of him here. 3 pitches. The third strikeout of the 9 for number 99.
Not sure if you'd be looking for anything else after the swing at the second fastball, but he goes straight back to it and dots it. What do you call that one? Frozen
pizza.
Thank you.
2 of those tonight. And then Sable swinging. Those are the 3 strikeouts for him so far. And Wade Meckler, the rookie, couldn't stop his bat there. 0-1. '23-year-old rookie Wade Meckler just made his debut 11 days ago on the 14th of the month. 3 balls and 1 strike. Up the middle for a single. And that's the first base runner tonight against Spencer Strider.
Pretty good at bat by Meckler, I got to say. He took great slider on the second pitch, made some adjustments on that pitch, and then Spencer wasn't able to hit a spot. Got behind 3-1, had to feed a fastball. That up the middle approach. See, it works so often.
It was a battle of the mustaches, and the rookie mustache won. Just the 7th hit of the young career of Wade Meckler. All 7 have been singles. And now the 9th spot in the order, occupied by Luis Matos. And Matos laces this to left. Back-to-back singles for San Francisco here in the 3rd.
Bottom of the order going to work. Gets another pitch in the middle. Hanging slider. 8 and 9 have taken advantage. The first real bad misses we've seen them tonight too.
After Strider had set down the first 7 in a row. Now back to the top, Lamont Wade. .98 fastball right down the middle, and Strider ahead of Wade 0-2. First adversity that Spencer Strider has faced tonight. Fouled off, and that got a piece of home plate umpire Todd Tishner. Travis d'Arnaud making sure he's okay.
That like a champ.
That came in with pace right off the bat of Wade.
Got Smoltzy the other night.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Struck him out, took something off. Beautiful slider, and he gets Wade for a big second out here in the third inning.
Great adjustment. Left this same pitch, middle of the plate. You see the difference when you can rip on it there. Down under the hands of a left-handed hitter. Trying to gear up for 99, and that just breaks off the table.
So 2 on, 2 out. Here's Thairo Estrada, who flew out in the first, and he swings and misses at a high heater. Estrada, his third year with San Francisco after spending parts of 2019 and 2020 with the Yankees. Sends this to right center. Acuña's over there. He reaches up and makes the catch. Ronald Acuña doing Ronald Acuña things to keep this a 1-0 ball game. They thought it might go into the gap here at Oracle. Ronald had other plans. Michael Harris leads off the fourth. He has provided the only offense in this game that produced a run, a solo homer back in the first. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
I tell you, it doesn't look like he even got this on the barrel, but he got enough of it to get it out, especially here. It sounded a lot louder than I thought it was, but let's see if he can get one middle and hit one into the cove.
Since giving up that homer, Webb has walked one but not given up any more hits. Until right there.
Beautiful.
Michael Harris has both hits tonight for the Atlanta Braves.
Just got to speak it into existence, Brandon.
That's what I'm here for, Peter. Michael continues his hot hitting ways. And good to see the Braves just kind of disrupt Logan Webb a little bit. He had started to settle into a groove.
Maybe Austin can drop down a bunt, get him really moving.
If that happens, I'll buy you dinner tomorrow. I did get you a piece of pizza before the game.
Sure, you wouldn't let me pay. I appreciate that.
You did offer.
I did.
Feel like I owed you.
Token.
It's hard enough you're stuck up with me here in this booth for a couple of days and then 3 in Denver. It is a gorgeous night, though, as it often is here. Yes, a little chilly where you need the sleeves and the pants, but a light breeze, temperatures in the low 60s, very pleasant. 0-2. Look at that. Here at Oracle Park, which opened back in the year 2000. Michael Harris goes to second, and the throw is way late from Sable, and Michael's in scoring position.
Just a terrific jump from Michael. Looked like he had something on Webb's move. First move gone. Big leg kick too. Sable really had no chance.
So nobody out, and a 1-2 pitch coming to Austin Riley. Missing off the outside edge with a sinker. Back to the mound on one hop, so Michael will not be able to advance. And there's one away. And now Matt Olson grounded out back in the first inning. With the homer by Michael Harris in the first, the Braves on the season now have 241 homers. Next closest is the Dodgers with 197. So you could take away Matt Olson's 43, and the Braves would still lead all of Major League Baseball in the home run category. Got the call on the outside corner there with a changeup, 1-1. Olson currently, though, is on a 9-game home run drought, which is the second longest for him of the season. He went 10 games without a homer at the end of May and the beginning of June. Big cut, 2-2. Olson to right center. That's going to get down. That's on his way to second. It's an RBI double, and it's 2-0 Atlanta.
Wasn't even a bad pitch. I'd probably say it was a good pitch. Change up down in the zone. May have bounced had he not made contact. Just drops the hands, head stays level, drives it into the gap. Michael Harris scores easily.
And now Ozuna the other way. Drops this in front of Matos. Matt's coming home, and he slides in safe. 3-0. Back-to-back RBI hits, one from Olson, one from Ozuna, and Atlanta has control in the top of the fourth.
Talk all season long about the long ball, but it's moments like this, and it's at bats like this, and it's swings like this that make the difference. Hands inside again. Take that sinker. If you try and pull this, you're just going to hit on the ground. They all know that. They've made the adjustment. And at 3 runs, it's most he's given up here all year.
It is. Think about that. Logan Webb, 13 start at home. He had never given up over 3 earned runs, sitting at 3 already here in the top of the fourth. But that's what this Atlanta offense will do to you. Inside corner change up to Eddie Rosario. So Matt Olson got his 109th RBI of the season, which leads baseball. And then Marcell Ozuna follows by getting his 19th run driven in the last 21 games, and he stays white hot. Eddie bounces this to second. And they do get him, so both times tonight Eddie's grounded into a double play, but the Braves have a 3-0 lead. Strider now has a 3-0 lead. Let's have a look at our Georgia Natural Gas Greener Life impact play. Talked about Strider and his strikeouts, where he stands in the single season list. He is climbing closer and closer to John Smoltz, Peter.
Well, another day, another record watch. Look at those numbers, look at the names on that list, and I dare say he's going to get well above Smoltz's 276, unfortunately, for John.
John.
He absolutely loves
You know
telling
what, though?
people
He's
that.
a Hall of Famer. He can handle it.
Well, based on their reaction to my question the other day, those Hall of Famers like to stay a little bit childish.
Well, you asked them and they said they want to keep all their records?
No, I asked them about golf, and it got...
Oh, first pitch here right at Harris. He hardly had to move, and Flores is retired.
got quite competitive, what I say.
You referenced it earlier, but how about that replay they showed during the players-only broadcast of Smoltz getting dotted in the ribs?
It was another example of just why those games need to happen more often, because I see things that I've never seen before, and it gives me so much ammunition.
That's a good word, yes. Everybody has a clip or two shown about them that either you haven't seen or you've heard of, but you haven't seen it in a long time, and then it gives you ammunition to make fun of them in the future.
And if nothing else, it humanizes legends and makes them feel like they're at least closer to us.
Sean Peterson hit that over to his buddies in the Giants dugout, but everybody's okay. And I said it before the first game, and you guys said it on the set as well, but our crew, getting all those elements, putting that broadcast together, not an easy task, and they did a fantastic job. Bounces that one in there, 1-2. Former Brave Jacques Peterson, now in his second year with the Giants, the team he grew up rooting for here in the Bay Area. This is home for him. He sends this pretty deep to right, but Ronald has it in front of the wall.
I did the same thing Ronald did based on that swing. I didn't think that ball was going to get a chance to go anywhere near the wall.
For a right fielder, it is tricky out there in right and right center.
Lots of points where it stabs in. 415 in the right center gap might be the furthest I've ever seen. Polo ground's a little bit further in center, but
well, a few years ago when they moved the bullpens, of course, Peter, you remember the bullpens used to be on the field.
Oh, I remember.
They moved them behind the left center and right center field wall, so they had to move that fence in a little bit. And they moved right center into 415 in honor of San Francisco's area code being 415. That's why they have that marking in right center.
This was the last place where bullpen guys could feel like they were actually part of the team. We got to hang out in the dugout. And then when our time came, we'd run down there. The crowd would start to boo. It was great. And then they'd yell and abuse you. And but then you could go in the clubhouse and grab a coffee. And
so there were some positives.
Big positives.
0-2 here to Blake Sabol. He stays alive.
Judging by that swing, you may see Trav and Spencer want to come back in there. He was obviously late on that fastball and he did miss his spot. If he can get a fastball in or up and in here, he's going to be toast.
Too far in.
Right idea.
Swing and a miss. 18 consecutive scoreless innings for Spencer Strider, dating back to his last 2 starts against New York, against San Francisco, and then 4 here against San Francisco. The 5th inning tonight is presented by Audi. And as we go to that 5th inning, Atlanta has a 3-0 lead. A homer by Harris in the first, and then in the 4th inning, RBI hits by Olson and Ozuna. Logan Webb back to work for San Francisco as he faces Travis d'Arnaud. With Webb getting Eddie Rosario to ground into 2 double plays tonight, he actually goes past Bryce Elder for the most induced double plays for a pitcher this year. He's induced 23 of them. Bryce Elder sitting at 22. But that's what happens when you get a lot of ground ball outs like those guys do. You used to get some double plays back in your day, Peter.
Used to sneak a couple in every now and then.
You knew how to do that.
It's honestly, that was what I loved the most, was coming in with other guys' runners on.
Come in with a runner on first, key situation.
Runner on first, runners on first and second, bases drunk. Didn't matter, one out, none out. Put me in any situation, give me a chance to get out of it. And it was just, there was no better feeling. Now, when you give up other people's runs, there was no worse feeling.
But we're focusing on the positive tonight.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah. 2-2 here to Travis d'Arnaud. Travis is battling another foul ball.
Now, and everything off. The only thing that he hasn't seen yet, I think, is a changeup. But fastball, he's on. The slider, he's seen enough now that he can recognize it.
Good eye there. Laying off that slider. 3-2. Another foul ball. He's getting that pitch count up there. 68 now for Webb. Here at the top of the fifth. Logan Webb, who's been with the Giants his entire career since they drafted him in the 4th round in 2014. Great at bat here from the Braves catcher.
You can see he's just late on that fastball, but doing enough to foul it off and extend the at bat. He's looking for him to make a mistake with that slider. That fastball was middle, but he just wanted to foul it off. If he can get him a slider over the middle of the plate, he's going to do some damage.
Another foul ball. This will be the 12th pitch of this at bat between Webb and Travis d'Arnaud. And there will be a 13th. Change up that time.
Now we've seen that too.
Again, the payoff. And there will be a 14th pitch in this at bat. You see Webb gave Travis d'Arnaud a look like, come on, man.
I mean, the worst thing is that last thing in the back of your mind is you don't want to give up a hit, but you definitely don't want to walk him.
He finally puts it in play. DeYoung charges and throws over, but a 14 pitch at bat for the veteran d'Arnaud.
Didn't see a slider until the 12th pitch, and then he threw it 12th, 13th, and 14th pitch of the at bat. That's Major League Baseball in a nutshell for you.
Well, it may show as 6-3 in your scorebook, but that disrupted Logan Webb out there in the center of the diamond.
That's a victory for Webb right there. I mean, at the end of that at bat, if you don't see a base runner, that's a win. Doesn't matter how many pitches you throw.
He's breathing a little heavier, though, after that d'Arnaud at bat.
I am, and I didn't do anything.
You analyzed it so well, though.
Thank you.
Now Orlando Arcia. But Webb, as I said, with San Francisco his entire career. He's from California. Went to Rockland High School in Sacramento. Made his debut with the Giants in 2019. Having a very successful campaign this year. But the Braves got to him a little bit at Truist Park last weekend on Saturday, and now they're on top of him here 3-0 in game 1 of the series at Oracle Park. Three and 2 to Orlando. Good pitch, changeup, and Orlando swings through it. It is actually the first strikeout tonight for Logan Webb. So a guy, as you said, Peter, who comes in averaging right around a strikeout per inning. Got a lot of ground balls tonight, but that's the first strikeout.
Not a lot of difference in velocity between Webb's changeup and his sinker. That changeup was 88. His sinker sits around 90 to 92.
Easy two-hopper to Estrada, and that will do it. 1, 2, 3, top of the fifth. We are halfway home. Presented by Audi. Home half of the fifth now. Nightfall here in the Bay Area. Game 1 of the series. Spencer Strider, 4 scoreless innings. And he starts off the fifth facing J.D. Davis. For the Giants, no runs, 2 hits. And for Strider, sitting on 14 wins, tied for the most in Major League Baseball, along with Justin Steele and Zach Gallen. Two and two as he blows the fastball by Davis. J.D. Davis has 57 runs driven in. That leads the team. The Braves have 7 players with more runs driven in than J.D. Davis. Kind of tells you the difference in these two offenses.
We were talking before the game, just the two lineups, even the way they put together on a daily basis.
Innocent fly ball to right field. And Ronald Acuna has been pretty busy tonight, 1 away.
In Smith's case, it feels like there's maybe one decision to make per day. With the Giants, you're trying to put something together that's going to solve the problem that is the opposing pitcher every night, and then you've got to second guess yourself. Well, what if I had started this guy over this guy? Maybe the results had been different. The luxury of having a lineup like ours is it's going to go.
Well, and they're still searching for things, evidence to the fact that they brought in this guy, Paul DeJong, after the Blue Jays released him last week. They also had Brandon Crawford hit the IL. They had a need on the infield, and DeJong fit the bill. Veteran, he's proven. He's had several years of starting experience with the Cardinals.
Brandon Crawford's basically been the spine of this club.
Swing and a miss. 3 pitches. That's all it takes for Strider to get to DeJong, and there are 6 Ks now on the board for Spencer Strider tonight.
Another slider. Looks like a fastball for the longest time. Disappears as soon as you try to pull the trigger.
Well, the top 7 guys in San Francisco's lineup are 0 for 14. But this guy in the 8th slot, Meckler, and the guy behind him have the 2 hits tonight.
Fell behind like this last at bat too. Meckler did a good job working it to 3-1.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Wade Meckler singled in the 3rd inning against Spencer, and now he's ahead here with a 3-1 count. Just missed outside, so Meckler reaches again.
Just missed. So yeah, Todd Tischer's had a pretty good zone back there. That was just off base on the box. There hasn't been many that have clipped, but he hasn't called a strike.
And now the 9-hole hitter Matos, who laced a solid single to left, his only at bat so far tonight. He is the 2nd youngest position player in Major League Baseball. He's 21 years of age. Only Jordan Walker, the St. Louis Cardinals, is a touch younger. Couldn't stop his bat. 1-1. And 1-2, right down the middle, 97-mile-per-hour fastball. One-two is fouled back and out of play. Spencer Strider, his 26th start tonight. The Braves are 20-5 in his first 25 starts this year. And looking really good tonight. Strider is chopping the Giants down at their knees right now. Truist. 3-0 top 6. Just about 8:30 out here on the West Coast, 11:30 back in Atlanta. If you're up with us on a Friday night, thanks for being part of the broadcast.
Of course they're up with us on a Friday night.
And if you're asleep, I guess you're not hearing us, so sorry about you. Top of the order in Ronald Acuna. Tomorrow will be a matinee, and then Sunday we will not have the broadcast on our air, but it will be right around 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, before the Braves head to Denver for the second stop on this 3-leg trip. Right center. Nobody's getting to that thing. This is going to go out to the 415 sign. They call that part of the ballpark Triples Alley, and that is why.
Looked like a one-handed swing from Ronald. Slider out in front, one-handed, about 411 feet out there. And I think he could have walked from second to third on this triple.
Well, now the Giants are going to bring the infield in. It does not matter. Michael Harris is 3 for 3 with a homer and 2 runs driven in. 4-0.
Well, he went back to the pitch that he loves to go to the most. Michael was ready for it. Change up, down and away, similar to the swing Matt put on that pitch. Line drive up the middle. It's the 4th run too, something he hasn't done.
First time all year that Webb has allowed more than 3 earned runs in a home start. And a quick visit to the mound from Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach. before Austin Riley comes to the plate for Atlanta. What a night for Michael Harris. He has 3 of the Braves' 6 hits. And he's driven in 2 of the 4 runs. Austin grounds this foul down the third base line.
There's not another team in baseball that has the luxury of moving their 9-hole guy, arguably one of the best hitters after the All-Star break, from the 9-hole into the 2-hole, and get the same sort of production than you would from the same spot. It's just crazy.
Breaking for second. Well, you can now add 2 stolen bases to Michael Harris's ledger for game 1 of this series. Just like the first stolen base, he got a great jump, Peter.
Something he's either reading off Logan Webb, he's either closing his front shoulder early, but as soon as he moves, Michael's off, and he's just too slow to the plate.
There's still nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Inside, 3 balls and a strike. Big crowd tonight at Oracle Park. They're expecting good crowds the next 2 ball games of the series as well. Grounder to second. Well, it does move Michael to third, so a productive first out of the inning for Austin Riley.
He's obviously trying to do a lot more damage than that, but at the very least, gets Michael over to third.
And that's going to be it for Logan Webb. Gabe Kapler making the move before Matt Olson steps to the plate for the Braves here in the top of the 6th.
Comes up to hit here, and Michael Harris already 3 for 3 on the night, 2 RBIs, and we know what Spencer Strider is doing. 5 scoreless innings, 7 Ks, and there is something to this synergy between these two, and Michael Harris has brought it up, guys. Every time Strider seems to have a big night, so does he, and he made a joke about it, saying it might be because I'm getting to save my legs out in the outfield because I'm not doing a whole lot out there the way Spencer Strider is constantly striking guys out. So I guess I just get to the plate and have all this energy, and I'm ready to go, and here we are again. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time this season that these two have had big nights on the same night, so there's something to it.
Yeah, last start against San Francisco at Truist Park, Harris was 4 for 5. Strider was dominant, goes 7 scoreless, strikes out 10, and now the tandem is doing it again here tonight.
I think it's just friendly competition. They did it all year fighting for the Rookie of the Year. They're doing it all year for who's going to be the greatest second-year sophomore. Is that what that is over here?
Yeah, sophomore campaign. Good job, Peter.
Thank you.
What do you call them down under?
They barely make it, so we don't have to name it.
Okay. Alex Wood is the lefty to face the left-handed hitting Matt Olson. Infield in here with Harris down at third base. Popped up.
Michael's going to go if he catches it.
He does catch it. Michael does come home, and he's safe. Well, Davis made a great over-the-shoulder grab, but Harris just too quick, and Atlanta tacks on.
This is a situation where you almost have to recognize who's on third base and realize that it's such a tough play. The only chance was to try and catch it and step and throw, but he didn't plant. What a great read. Not a chance. Even if you do stop and plant and try to make a stronger throw, Michael's going to outrun it anyway.
Superman, Money Mike. And it's 5-0. give another RBI to Matt Olson, his second of the night.
Might be the shortest sac fly of his career.
Well, Davis, the ball was right along the line. As I said, heck of a catch, but yeah, with Harris running, he just couldn't get enough on the throw. In on the hands, Ozuna sends this out to left. It'll hang up for Peterson. That retires the side, but the Braves get two more. By Kaiser Permanente, taking the cable car through the streets of San Francisco last night. Very own Sean Farnham getting this footage for us. He was brave enough to hang out the side of the car, hold the camera with his left hand. Well done.
You were holding the right hand.
No, he was holding on to the car. I was inside just enjoying the view.
Wonderful.
Along with Kelly, our great producer Gretchen King. Top of the order, Lamont Wade leading things off here for San Francisco. Spencer Strider has only given up 2 hits. No runs for the Giants so far. Well, Strider is certainly bolstering his argument to be a Cy Young winner with these last 3 starts. August 12th against the Mets, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. Last time out against these Giants at Truist Park, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 10 strikeouts. And now, Peter, this masterpiece so far tonight. Popped up shallow left. Orlando calls off Eddie, and he's got it for the first down. Let's get a quick message in here now from Zaxby's.
Zaxby's Southwest Salad is more than just a salad. It's a flavor fiesta.
Here's Estrada. He's just locked in.
It's so impressive. It really is. He's in that mode where he's got him thinking something else and he throws the opposite pitch every single time.
Foul down the right field line. What's your favorite Strider nickname for the quads? The Quadzilla.
The Quad God.
Quad God?
The Quad God.
Quad Father, though, also popular.
I had not heard that one until that second. That's going to give me a couple of seconds to think about that one.
We'll circle back. Another strikeout. 8 of them tonight for Spencer Strider.
You know what's so impressive also is that you, me, Jeff, Tom, whoever's up here, we talk about that second and third time through. As you see that slider just darts off the table. You see it look like a fastball for the whole time, and then, as I say, that swing starts and it just disappears. But we talk often about second and third time through the lineup. This is the 5th and 6th time that he's faced this lineup in the last week, and he's having similar effect that he had the first time through.
You said it at the start of the broadcast. Will be interesting to see what adjustments these Giant hitters will make. Well, whatever they've tried, it has not worked.
Right, they've obviously spent the week looking at video, looking at data, trying to figure out what it is they can do to change their approach, change something to put the ball in play and make Spencer work a little bit.
And he's ahead of Wilmer Flores here, a ball and 2 strikes. He started to swing. They'll check, but he did not go, says Alex Tosi down at first base.
Remember, he went 3. Oh, it's only 2-2. Never mind. I got ahead of myself.
Deuce is on the board here. 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check again. Same thing. Takes a lot of discipline to lay off those 2 pitches.
Got him with a 3-2 slider in the first inning that started at the front hip and broke in for a strike. He's laid off 2 sliders in the dirt last 2 pitches. I think he's trying to blow him away with heat.
He does. Fastball down the middle, but Flores able to battle it off. Stays 3-2. And another foul ball. Eight strikeouts tonight for Spencer. Looking for a 9th. This ball is hit high and deep to left. Rosario is back, and he's got it. About 5 feet in front of the wall. Just a scary out, nothing else. Play Kyle Wright. Look at this. His first rehab appearance. High A Rome. 3 scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts, 26 pitches, Peter, 23 strikes.
Trying not to get ahead of myself, but that's got to be a pretty exciting result for Braves and Braves fans. I didn't know what we were going to get from Kyle, but he said he felt great. The stuff looked great. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a really exciting night for anybody in Braves country.
Yeah, Kelly, pretty good news for the Braves, as if this team needed any more good news, but that is a good sign, certainly.
It said he saw the video and a few pitches and it really looked great, but the best news, of course, Kyle Wright feeling good today. And he said he'll pitch again in 5 days and he thinks he'll start climbing the ladder at that point. But he goes, I don't think an at-bat went over 4 pitches. So the stuff looked good and the arm looked good, Peter.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, when you go 3 innings and throw 26 pitches and 23 are strikes, that's pretty darn efficient.
And that was the frustrating thing for Kyle when he was going through what he was going through. It was just he wasn't able to be the same guy that he was just last year.
And he had not thrown in a game. He had thrown, of course, BP sessions, but he hadn't thrown in a game since May. And it's a long time being away to come back and be that sharp.
I tell you though, that one game when you've had that much time off and more, it just feels like you're back. It feels like good or bad results, as long as you get through healthy, you feel like you've hit a step.
Full count here to Eddie Rosario. He's had the worst luck of the Atlanta hitters tonight. He's bounced into 2 double plays. Another ground ball here. And Eddie's 0 for 3, 1 away in the 7th. Alex Wood on the mound. Braves fans probably remember, most of them that have been following the team for a while, that he started his career with Atlanta 2013 to 2015. And then would go on to become an all-star with the Dodgers in 2017. Went to the Reds, back to the Dodgers, and now in his 3rd year with the San Francisco Giants.
And obviously Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes, played for the Bulldogs. He's originally from Charlotte before coming down to Athens. Well, Travis d'Arnaud last time up saw 14 pitches, and that was the most seen by any Brave this year in a single at bat. It ended up with him grounding out to short, and this is also going to be a ground out to short. Let's get a quick message now from Georgia Drive Chevy.
The all-new Chevy Trax, starting at $21,495. Chevrolet, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Stay tuned for the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Coming up here after the next out, we'll toss it back to Atlanta in the studio. 2-1 to Orlando Arcia, although I don't think he agreed with that call on the inside corner. All Braves so far. Run in the first, 2 in the fourth, 2 more in the sixth. Spencer Strider's been dealing. The Giants, meanwhile, in their bullpen after Logan Webb went 5 1/3. They moved on to Alex Wood.
Just realized something.
What's that, Peter?
Another one of those booths where the only way I'm going to get a foul ball is if it comes at some sort of pace.
Buried. Great vantage point though here at Oracle Park. Saw Spencer there in the dugout. He now has a stretch of 20 scoreless innings going, which is the longest of his young career. Estrada is cheating up the middle, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the 7th as we head to the stretch. Here in the bottom of the 7th, enjoying a 5-0 lead. Facing the middle part of this Giants order. Right center field, Jock Peterson crushed this to the deepest part of the park, and it's up against the wall. He's going to try for 3, and he's in there with a leadoff triple.
Looks like Jock clearly went up there with a plan, got his first pitch breaking ball, middle, hit it out to that 415 side. Even Superman could have got that one. Bounced out there, held up out there too. Allowed Jock to get all the way around to third.
Well, Strider, that's the only part of the park where Jock could have hit it without hitting it out. So the potential first run of the game for the Giants 90 feet away, and Sable, the catcher, is the batter. I mentioned earlier they call that part of the park in right center Triples Alley, and we've seen 2 triples tonight to that spot. One by Acuna, now one by Peters.
The Braves, you give up a run for an out here, but if you're Spencer Strider, you're trying to punch out the next 2 guys and get yourself a 0.
He's already struck out Sable twice. There's the hat trick. A slider from Strider down and in. Sable swings through it, 1 away.
Another slider. Just cannot hold the bat, especially with 2 strikes. You've got no room for error.
Now J.D. Davis. Strider misses outside, 1-0. 9 more strikeouts tonight for Strider. 236 on the season. Just a commanding lead in that category across Major League Baseball. One and 2. Stay fastball elevated.
I am based on that swing. He looks like he's just trying to drive that ball to the right side. If you give him something off speed to time up, could run into one, but if you stay heat.
A little too tall that time. 2 and 2. And the 2-2 Grounded to third, and the Giants will get their first run of the game. But the Braves get the second out. It's 5-1. And that puts an end to Spencer Strider's scoreless streak. 20 1/3 innings without giving up a run.
That's the frustrating part in a game like this. As a pitcher, yeah, you want to get the out, but at the same time, you want to keep a 0 on the ball. It's a point of pride. But the play is to go to first base and give up that run, and base is empty now.
And you saw Spencer kind of jam his ball into the mid. We say it all the time. He's a perfectionist. He's frustrated with giving up that one run. Broken bat in on the hands. Spencer's going to do it himself. 7 fantastic innings for Spencer Strider. 8 innings from Spencer Strider tonight. 9 strikeouts. Yes, he gave up 1 run that he was frustrated about. But it's a 5-1 lead for Atlanta as we go to the 8th.
Well, if I can dive into his mind for just a second, I can tell you that the frustration is probably from the first pitch to Jock that allowed the triple to happen, and then he even missed his spot to Davis on the ground ball to shortstop. He was trying to go up and away, missed down and in, allowed him to get some bat on it and ground out. But you're right, he's a perfectionist. He wants to be perfect every time out. He wants to learn from what he did last time and wants to get better.
Line drive base hit. Nicky Lopez going the other way for a leadoff single.
Nicky wasn't going to go hitless.
Continues to be a great addition at the deadline for this Braves team.
You asked me today, you know, how long do you think the adjustment period is for a guy that comes in, but he's just come into this clubhouse and fit right in. Hasn't ruffled any feathers. Just comes in, gets his work done every day. Probably loves the change of environment.
Acuna to right center, pretty well struck. At the wall and reaching up, Meckler has it. Now Lopez waited and properly tags and gets into scoring position. But Ronald had a triple to right center back in the 6th inning, and he just missed a homer there. But yeah, Nicky Lopez, like a lot of the guys, always a smile on his face, just very talkative, fun to be around, outgoing, and as you said, it's kind of been a seamless transition.
Just even that play there, the professionalism of that play to tag up on a deep fly ball to center field. A lot of guys can just go halfway and trickle back to first, but he took the extra base.
And now gives Money Mike a shot. What a night for Michael Harris. 3 hits, a homer, 2 runs driven in, and a pair of stolen bases. Alex Wood gets a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Lined, safe at second, so not a double play. But DeYoung was cheating up the middle, so he steals a single from Michael Harris. Oh, Gabe Kapler says they want to look at it.
And this may just be because it's so late in the game, maybe his last chance to challenge. Yeah, feels like that. Give a reliever a chance to warm up if somebody's warming up.
Michael Harris just missing his 4th hit of the ball game. I would imagine this would be a pretty quick review.
It's like they're having a conversation amongst themselves.
Just wondering if they can get to Fisherman's Wharf before the restaurants close. Now ticked past 9 o'clock here in the Bay Area. So past midnight back in Atlanta. Gabe Kapler has seen his Giants struggle as of late. They're just 4-10 since August 8th. They've had a rough stretch. Had to go to Atlanta, then to Philadelphia, now back home here to face the Braves.
Got people trying to find service or something? It looks like they're trying to hold the phone up and see if we can get some signal.
Maybe some communication issues here on the review.
If you give me the number, I can call them.
Yeah, I wonder if they're having trouble getting a hold of Central Command in New York. Or maybe they're asleep in New York. It's after midnight, you know.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. San Francisco will lose their challenge.
All right, so they were able to confirm the call. They did get a hold of New York, and Nicky Lopez is still at second base with 2 outs. So the inning will extend to allow Austin Riley to come to the plate. You're certainly not out of the woods yet in this environment, but you had 7 strong from Strider. Joe Jimenez ready, then likely Iglesias in the 9th. As that gets away from Sable, and Nicky will go to 3rd. But game 1 of the series here, at least to this point, Peter, setting up just how you had hoped.
Couldn't have asked for more from Spencer. This offense doing just enough. Michael Harris setting the tone. But the way that bullpen's been performing too, you feel pretty comfortable, even if the starter can give you 6 innings.
Right now the Braves looking for a little insurance. Lopez 90 feet away. A ball and 2 strikes here to Austin Riley. 2-2. Riley pops it up to shallow left center. Meckler has it, and that'll do it. On to the bottom of the 8th. What about Spencer Strider, who was great against Peter through 7 innings?
Second time in a week facing the same lineup. How dominant can you be? Well, he proved it again, just as dominant. Established the command with 3 pitches early on, and that set him up for the rest of the game. Got some swings and misses out of the zone. Got that jam shot right there. That was a grown man. Full swing, 1U. Look at those quads go to work.
The quad god.
The quad father.
Quad father. Quadzilla. Whatever you want to call him. Let's check out our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. Pitching the last 13 games, just a .256 earned run average.
All up and down the starting rotation. There was a bit of a hump in the road for a couple of weeks, but they bounced back, and that bullpen has stayed solid. Man, right there's had a big hand in it.
Joe Jimenez, first pitch to Meckler, is fouled out of play. So the bullpen on here in the 8th inning. But for Spencer Strider, you add up the totals from his last 3 starts. 21 innings, 1 run, 7 hits, 27 strikeouts.
As dominant as it gets.
What a run it's been for number 99. And now number 77 out there. Meckler is the only Giant that has reached twice tonight. And now he's the only Giant that has reached 3 times tonight. He has 2 of their 4 hits. Tell you what, that kid's quite a story. He was an 8th round pick last year. For an 8th round pick to already be playing at the major league level a year later is pretty impressive.
See the bat to ball skills are pretty good.
So bottom of the order now in Matos. A rookie who's been up and down from AAA this season. Got recalled 10 days ago. And he fouls it back 0-2. Joe missing with a slider away. And now the 1-2 from the righty. Grounded to third. On to second for 1. Almost turned a very tough double play. But they say Matos beat it out. And the Braves electing not to challenge the call. So 1 on 1 out, and here's Lamont Wade. Jimenez with a slider 0-1.
The impressive turn there from Nicky Lopez at second base.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought no chance at a double play. Atlanta's bullpen just a 2.07 ERA this month. That's the best in Major League Baseball. And Jimenez gives up a single to center here from Wade. So runners at first and second with 1 out of the 8th.
Wade Jr. with a similar approach to Meckler. Just getting a fastball, dropping the hands and driving it back where it came from.
First pitch of this at bat, Estrada skies down the right field line. Oh, a little tricky, but Nicky Lopez does make the catch. I know it was a very long run for Ronald, but the pace he was coming in with, Peter, I thought Ronald was going to call Nicky off.
I thought so too. Crowd can get loud down there. They were both having to come. No one really can. Nicky took a peek at the last second. Ronald didn't think he could get there, so didn't call it off, thankfully.
Well, that's a big second out, but not out of the woods yet. Here's Wilmer Flores. He hit one to the wall last time, and how about this? Look at the English on that ball. From foul territory, back in play, Olsen taps the bag, and it remains 5-1. Wow. On to the 9th inning. Giants threatened in the bottom of the 8th, but Joe Jimenez got out of it with such an interesting play. Wilmer Flores hit a ball that, watch this, foul territory into fair territory.
Four-seam fastball off the cup of the bat. Somehow gets enough spin on it. I've never seen that in all my years of watching this beautiful game.
Because it was clearly foul, and then it went clearly fair, and now Alex Wood takes care of Matt Olson, 3 pitches. Support the Atlanta Braves into the home stretch at MLBShop.com. Largest selection of jerseys, caps, t-shirts, everything you need. Gear up with your Braves, MLBShop.com. And Ozuna takes a strike at the knees. RBI single for Marcell back in the 4th. He has hit safely in 20 of his last 21 games. But for Gabe Kapler, what Alex Wood has done out of the bullpen is he's helped save their bullpen a little bit. After Logan Webb went 5 1/3, it's been Alex Wood ever since.
It's been the jack of all trades for them all year. He's made some starts. He's come out of the pen. He's opened.
We talked about it during the series in Atlanta, but they have a very strange split to the Giants of innings pitched from their starters versus relievers because they just don't have a normal full rotation. And there's a walk to Ozuna. Let's get a message in here from Texas Pete.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
But for the Giants, their starters have thrown the fewest amount of innings in Major League Baseball, and in correlation to that, their bullpen has thrown the most innings in Major League Baseball. And that just gets tough when you're trying to get to the postseason late in the year.
Unless you're set up that way, which some teams have been, and you're able to sustain it, but you're still got to have some effort from your starting pitchers to carry some innings. Otherwise, they're just going to get worn out. The best teams that rely heavily on bullpens, they usually don't go multiple years. It's usually one great year, and then a lot of those guys find out in years to come that they've thrown too much.
1-2 here to Eddie Rosario. But Eddie's shoes. Up the middle, grounder taken, and DeYoung will beat Ozuna to the bag for the second out. 4 groundouts tonight for Eddie Rosario. Talking about that Giants bullpen with that last out. Their bullpen, if you add everything up this year, and they've now thrown over 565 innings. And that's more innings pitched from a bullpen through the end of August by a National League team since 1906.
You see, I used to hear stories where they didn't have a bullpen in 06.
Crazy, though. I didn't go to any games back in 1906, but it was a hot summer that year. Travis d'Arnaud now 1-1.
I've become quite the baseball historian. A lot of the times when you hear stories, it's all about the starters going 14 innings a game and never having a reliever come in, and that's why they've got. But that just proved everything wrong.
Well, my guess is on that stat that that's back to when bullpen was tracked, and so it may be in the history of baseball, but the stat read since 1906. It's like, you know, RBIs were only tracked since 1920. So I can't fully confirm, but I know since at least 1906, that's the most for a bullpen through August. On we go to the bottom of the ninth in a 4-run game. You buy Georgia Drive Chevy. By the Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. And by Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. Gorgeous tonight here in the Bay Area. And also gorgeous that the Braves are up 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. And Raisel Iglesias is on for Atlanta. Before he throws his first pitch, we get a word in here from Delta.
On behalf of our Atlanta-based crew, go Braves! Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
23 saves and 25 opportunities for Raisel, but not a save opportunity tonight. We'll see, though, if he can close the door here and get the Braves a win in game 1 of the series.
53 punch-outs in 40 innings, 13 consecutive scoreless innings, and he's looked as good as he did last year when he went on that run. He is, when that changeup is locked in with that sinker, doesn't matter if you're lefty, righty, you cannot touch it. That slider's been coming back against right-handed hitters too.
He'll try to put the finishing touches on the Giants after Strider went 7 strong with 9 strikeouts, and Joe Jimenez pitched a scoreless 8. 4-5-6 for San Francisco, starting with Peterson. Last time up, Jock Peterson tripled to right center and scored the only run of the game for the Giants. I mentioned he's a Bay Area kid. Born and raised in Palo Alto, 35 miles from Oracle Park. Raisel's in front of him, 0-2, and struck him out on 3 pitches. A changeup right at the knees.
Clearly looking for something else. Went to the bread and butter. Changeup, middle. Tells me that obviously Jock must have been looking for something else.
And he headed right to the dugout. He knew that was strike 3. Ground ball. Lopez there. 2 outs. And the final hope for the Giants is J.D. Davis. Iglesias misses outside with a fastball. Since August the 8th, the Giants are 4-10 and the Braves are 12-4. 2 teams going in opposite directions. And the Braves have controlled this one since Michael Harris hit a solo homer 2 batters in the first inning. counter foul.
Felt like the momentum just fell into the Braves dugout from that point and never swapped sides. This is the Giants. You want to get off to such a hot start, and then Michael Harris, two batters in.
Right field, Acuna back, and this one's going to get over his head. So the ball game not done yet. 2-out double, J.D. Davis.
Try to come in with that sinker. Pretty good swing, honestly. Got to drive that ball that far, coming down and in. But like I said earlier, if you try and pull that pitch, it's just a ground ball. So that's the only thing you can do.
And now Paul DeJong, the shortstop, just his second game as a Giant. In his brief stint with the Dodgers, after being traded from the Cardinals in 13 games, he was just 3 for 44. And then they released him. And that's how he landed here in San Francisco. And in his first game, he was 3 for 5. He had as many hits in his first game as a Giant as he did during his entire Blue Jays tenure. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He went 1-2. Raisel Iglesias deals, and it's line foul. Struck him out. Braves win. Atlanta got up in the first inning on a Harris homer, and they never looked back. They cruised to a 5-1 victory. Another masterpiece from Spencer Strider. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, and the Braves are 83-44.
Beautiful way to start this long road trip. Needed to take care of business. Spencer got us off on the right foot. Still frustrated himself with that performance, but not us. And the bullpen do what they do, continue their strong run. Pitching's become a weapon again for this team. And the offense, well, talked about them all year.
Yeah, they just continue to hum. And Michael Harris, I mentioned the solo homer the first. He also added another RBI hit, a couple of stolen bases. A great night for him and a great night for Atlanta to start off this West Coast trip. 5-1 is the final. Stay tuned. Braves Live postgame show presented by Xfinity is coming up next. For Peter Moylan, for Kelly Kroll, for our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off for the Bay. We will talk to you tomorrow. So long, everybody.